Welcome back. We've come to the cool down portion of our online practice. So again, I plan to give you various options for standing poses, seated poses, cool downs, reclined poses as we build our little yoga toolbox here at Unity Yoga at home. So one key thing is in our yoga studio, we're used to having props, bolsters, blankets, straps, blocks, all that good stuff. At home, we don't tend to have quite as much of that material. Bolsters are a huge expense. They're about $80 a piece retail for one that's a consistent size, shape, and density. Yoga straps you can actually find pretty cheap online, probably about $6, Amazon.com. Yoga blocks really range from about $10 a pair to $20 a piece for cork. Blankets you have at home. You can use couch cushions, you can use stacked towels, lots of options. So as we work through our different cool down sequences and hopefully build into a restorative practice, we'll go through some of the household items that you can use as props in your practice. But today for our cool down, I would like to use a strap. And while I happen to have a strap or 5 at home, one thing that you may have in your own home is actually a waistband from a bathrobe. So I have a nice little satin kimono, and this little strap is probably just about 6 feet long. I'm going to use this as my strap for my poses today. If you don't happen to have a tie for a bathrobe, you can use a beach towel. Beach towels tend to be a little bit short, a little bit bulky, but they work great because they're at least close to the right length. You can take a couple of men's ties, tie those together. That's a good option. You can weave together a couple belts. I've even used the strap off of my laptop shoulder bag as a strap in a pinch before. But today I'm going to use my kimono sash to replicate a strap. And I also realized I have this corded mic on that I can't really lie on my back with the mic in my pants. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull this off to the side and rotate it to the front so that I don't crush my microphone. All right, let's go ahead and come to seated. If you've got your strap, go ahead, just set it off to the side of your mat. We're going to come onto our backs. So go ahead and recline with the soles of the feet on the mat and the arms down along the side of the body. We'll just take a moment. If you've got any obstacles off to the side of your mat, go ahead and move any blocks or other household debris off to the side. We're going to step our feet as wide as our mat and bring the knees together. And let's actually go ahead, rest the hands on the hip creases, fingertips on the belly. So take a moment, check back in with your breath as we begin our cool down sequence. And if you've been taking this class with one video to the next, you're probably still feeling warm. So just take this moment, recline to reconnect to your breath. Maybe bring in that abdominal breath. So letting the low belly expand on the inhalations and relax and sink on the exhalations. And then let's bring our, keeping our feet wide, let's bring the arms out into a T. And if you don't happen to have quite enough space, as I don't have enough for the camera and my space in the room, you can keep an elbow bent or bring it to cactus. But we're going to step the feet wide, knees together. We're going to drop both knees over to one side. Maybe turn the head to the opposite side. Both knees up through center. And then knees to the opposite side, head can turn. And we'll just move with the breath. So we'll inhale center and exhale, dropping the knees, inhaling center, and exhale to drop the knees. Let's just move with our breath at our own pace. And if moving the head does not feel appropriate today, you can keep the head pointed up towards the ceiling. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe just fix the gaze on a point that doesn't move. And when you feel even on both sides, go ahead and we'll bring it back up to center. And we'll bring the arms down along the side of the body. So I'd like you to go ahead, grab your strap, whether you've got a belt or anything that you can hold on to. And if you don't have a strap, it's totally fine. You can still reach up and grab behind the thigh or behind the calf, or even grab your pant leg and pull with your pant leg if you've got some yoga pants on. But we'll take the left knee in towards the chest, so we're going to place our strap or pseudo strap around the sole of the foot. And if your strap's long enough, you can hold on to just the edges with the elbows still on the mat. And what I'd like you to do is just flex the foot. So press the heel towards the ceiling and let the weight of the body hold tension on the strap. So I'm not going to pull the strap towards my head. I'm just going to let the weight of my foot in the strap bring a little bit of length to the back of my leg. And we'll just breathe. And if this is a significant enough stretch, you can just keep that right foot on the mat. And otherwise, if you'd like to extend the right leg forward, you can go ahead and extend. Today, I'm just going to go ahead and keep the knee bent. And go ahead, point the foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to flex the toes back. You've got to still keep a hold on your strap so the strap doesn't fly down your leg. Just notice what muscles of the leg engage as we change the shape of the foot. So as you flex, notice if you feel any sensations in the back of the leg, and as you point, maybe sensations in the front of the leg. And we'll bring that leg back. Let's go ahead and reach up a little bit higher. We're actually going to draw the thigh towards our torso. So a little bit of a manual hamstring stretch. Not anything too dramatic. Just a gentle stretch for the back of the leg. And you might notice that your pelvis sort of rounds. You kind of tend to push a little bit with that back foot. Whatever is going on today, just let it happen. There's nobody watching. You don't get any gold stars for being extra fancy. So just do what feels good in your body. We'll take 2 more breaths with that little extra hamstring stretch. And then let's go ahead and bring that leg back up to neutral. This time we're going to grab up high on our strap, reach our other arm out for ballast, or maybe take a cactus arm if you don't have full extension, and we're going to drop that leg open. What I like to do is rest my elbow on the floor, just as a little cantilever, so that the foot can be held in the strap, just in the hand. I'm not having to use my arm. I'm only having to use my hand for that length. And if that other hip tends to kind of open up, that's all right. So don't feel like you have to keep that knee straight up. You know, if it wants to roll open, it's all good. It's getting a nice opening on the inside of the leg. Let's inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, we'll bring the strap to our belly. And let's go ahead and extend both legs up towards the ceiling. And just take a moment here and notice if you feel any difference in sensation from one leg to the next. So maybe one leg feels a little bit longer than the other. You can take some movement in the feet or turn the ankles and just notice if there are any differences. And then let's bring knees back to the chest. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch sides. I'm going to roll around to my other side so I've got room to extend my leg, but you can stay right where you are. And again, from our backs, we will bring the right knee in towards the chest this time, taking our strap around the sole of the right foot, and we'll extend the leg up towards the ceiling. So again, we'll start with that passive stretch where the tension that the foot creates on the strap is what brings that stretch to the back of the leg. So we'll bring our hands down to the end of the strap, elbows on the floor, shoulders relaxed, and just let that extended leg hang out in your strap. And notice as the leg is extended, the gravity of the leg, the heaviness of the leg in your hip socket. Nice and firm and rooted. And here both hips are even. So both of our hips are on the floor. We're not having to push with one leg. Everything's nice and steady and stable. And with that foot still in the strap, let's go ahead and point the foot, flex the toes back, and just notice where do we feel sensations versus flexing the foot fully, pushing the heel towards the ceiling versus pointing the toes or pointing the foot, flexing the toes back. And just notice where you experience sensations of stretch in through the legs. We'll bring that foot back to neutral. And this time a little bit of pull on the hamstring. So we'll go ahead, reach up high with the strap and just bring a little bit of pull with the hand. Bring that thigh a little closer to the torso. And if you notice that your leg tends to shake a lot, I've heard a couple different disciplines say that shaking is great. You know, you're supposed to survive the shake. If it's uncomfortable, you know I'm not going to make you do it. So if your leg is uncomfortable, just back off. Bring the foot a little bit further away. Several students might end up being here for their hamstring stretch. It's totally fine. So wherever you are today is fine. We'll give it 3 more breaths, drawing just a little bit on our strap to bring the thigh in towards the chest. And nobody says this leg has to be straight. I actually have a problem locking my knee out, so a little micro bend is always a good thing. All right, go ahead and back the leg out. We're going to open up the leg. So we'll reach up high on the strap, bring our opposite arm out either to cactus or into an extension. Again, with my adhesions on this side, I just have to bring my arm to a gentle place. Let's go ahead and open that leg up to the right side. Your left hip may kind of roll with it depending on how tight your leg or hips are. You can either roll towards that leg or open the other leg to keep it in balance, but there's no requirement to keep your left knee pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Use an inhalation. Let's bring that leg back up to center. And exhale, we'll place our strap off to the side. We'll bring both knees in towards the chest. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling. And again, just notice if you feel any similarities or differences from one leg to the next. Maybe point or flex the feet. Draw some little circles with the ankles. And switch directions. And let's reach arms up towards the ceiling, point the toes, point the fingers, flex the feet, flex the hands, spread the toes and hands, and knees towards the chest. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little rock from side to side. And draw some circles with the knees. Change directions with your circles. And coming back to center, let's go ahead and release the legs to the mat and step them out long. Bringing palms to face up. And we'll come into Savasana. So take this moment in Savasana to let the weight of the body sink into your mat. Letting go of the conditioned breath, relaxing the belly, softening the muscles of the face. Let's take a full-bodied breath, soles of the feet to the crown of the head to fill up. And let it go. And feel free to stay in your Savasana for as long as you need. Taking this moment to tune back in to your body's own needs, to your experience. And I'm so pleased that you were able to join me again today. The light within me sees and honors the light within you. Namaste.